Welcome back to class, guys. We're going to go ahead and start off, and we're going to do our yellow chevron combination number 1. So, hopefully you remember what that is. Our yellow chevron combo 1 is going to be our outward figure 8 strike, catch it underneath, inward figure 8 block, raise it up, front switch. Outward figure 8 strike, inward figure 8 block, front switch. Outward, inward, front switch. Out, in, switch. Out, in, switch. Out, in, switch. Out, in, switch. And keep going along with me. If you can go faster than me, that's awesome. If you can't go as fast as me, it's all right. Try to pick up the speed whenever you start to feel comfortable. Make sure we're doing our small figure 8s, not these giant looping figure 8s. Want to keep them nice and controlled. Pick up the speed. All right, now the next thing that we're going to go over is we're going to go over a little bit of footwork. So the footwork is called our step and turn footwork. So we're going to start off into a back stance. So I'm going to show it from the side first. I'm going to start off in this back stance and I'm going to be doing a inward figure 8 block. So I'm spinning this inward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my foot up and I'm going to raise this up over my shoulder. You can catch it or you can just let it go to your shoulder and keep your other hand here. Either way, up to you. Now I'm going to step through, and as I step through, I'm going to do a side swing and turn. Now I'm facing the other direction. I still have my right foot in front. Again, I'm going to step together, step through, bring it over, and turn. When I'm doing this though, what I want you to do is I want you to step across. So as I step through, I'm kind of going into this forward stance. Now with my back leg, it's going to step past. So if I'm on this line right here, I just am here. My right foot's not on the line. I step through, boom, I'm here. Now this foot is going to pass the line here, and I'm going to turn. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now as I step up, I bring it up. As I step out, I bring it down. I'm going to step across the line and turn. So my feet aren't really on the same line with this, and that's fine. We're here, step together, out, step past the line, and turn. Together and up, bring it down, step past the line, turn. So we're kind of making this circle here. Together, up, out, past, inward figure 8. Together, up, down, out, past. From the side, looks like this. Here, I step up, I step through, I step past, I step up, through, past. Up, through, past. Up, through, past. Up, through, past. All right, so hopefully you kind of have an idea of this. You should have already watched the video to see how to do this technique. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the exact same thing onto the other side. So I just did it with my right side. Now I'm going to do it with my left side. Whichever side you started off, you probably started off with your right side because most people like to start with that side. You're going to go ahead and switch sides. Now, I'm going to start inward figure 8. I'm going to step up, bring it up. I'm going to step out, side swing, step across, turn, inward figure 8. Up, out, side swing, step across, inward figure 8. Step up, together, out, side swing, across, here. From the side, I'm going to have my left foot in the front. I'm going to inward figure 8, other hand is up. Again, I can catch this if I want to with this. As I step up, I can catch and then step out across. You can do that, or you can just bring it right up and then bring it right down, step across. But one thing I don't want you doing is I don't want you not going past the line. So as we step through, boom, we brought this up, we stepped out. I don't want you staying or just turning here and now I'm angled slightly weird. I want to be able to turn all the way and not have my feet on the same line anymore. We're going to do this. So a few more times with this. Inward figure 8. From here, I step up, comes up. I step out, comes down. I step past, and I come with my inward figure 8. Up, down, around, up, down, around, up, down, around, up, down, and around. Now, that is our step and turn footwork. So you'll be using that type of footwork in some of the katas. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on our around the neck part 2. So if you remember, around the neck part 1 looked something like this. I did a strike, brought it behind the back, I brought it around the neck, and then I brought it into the armpit. Well, around the neck part 2 is very similar. It goes around the neck, but it doesn't go around the back. So that's going to be the main difference. So I'm going to bring it up, I'm going to start over my shoulder, and I'm going to go in between my legs, just like this. I'm going to let go with the front one, and then I'm going to bring it up around my neck and underneath the arm, just like that. So again, I raise it up, I strike down, I bring it around, and I bring it underneath. So key points to doing this. Whenever we're striking, the tip of the nunchuck that I'm holding is going to go under my groin. I'm not going to stick it out in front of me right here, and that's a bad time. You're going to have a bad time. So we don't want to have a bad time. So we're going to stick the tip underneath us. That way, even if I don't catch it, okay, all it's going to do is it's going to wrap around and it's going to touch me on my back. It's not going to hurt. It's just going to come around and it's going to hit my backside. It's not bad. We're trying not to hit ourselves in the groin though. That's the whole key. If you stop with the nunchuck out here, it's going to hit you in the groin, and that's how you're going to have a bad time. Bring it up, bring it down, bring it around, and underneath. Up, down, around, catch. Up, down, around, catch. Keep doing this along with me. Bring it up, bring it down, round, catch. Up, down, round, catch. Up, down, round, catch. And keep going. Pick up the speed when you feel more comfortable with it. Again, try to catch it underneath there every time. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to bring it up, I'm going to bring it down, around, and catch. Bring it up, down, around, catch. Up, down, around, catch. So make sure when we're bringing it around, we're going and we're bringing it at the same level, just like before. Bring it around the neck. I don't want to angle it up. If I angle it up, I'm just going to end up hitting my scapula right there, and I'm going to hit my back. So I have to bring this around at the same level as my neck is. That way I'm not hitting it. Just like in around the neck part 1, same thing. So, what side was I on? I was on the left side. So, bring it up, bring it down, bring it around, and catch. up, down, around, catch. Keep going along with me. Up, down, around, catch. Up, down, around, catch. As you start to feel a little bit more comfortable, go ahead, pick up that speed. All right, so now we're going to put them together. So we're just going to use one side and then another side alternating. So we're going to start in the upwards position. We're going to go down in between the legs. We're going to go around the neck, and we're going to catch it. And we're going to lift it up, and we're going to front switch. So all we're doing is we're adding a front switch to here. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on my left side. Down, around, catch, up, switch, down, around, catch, up, switch, down, around, catch, up, switch, down, around, catch. So it's the exact same thing. Keep doing it along with me. All we're doing is we're adding a front switch right in the middle of it. That way we can do the other side. Keep going. When you start feeling comfortable, pick up that pace. Boom, if you miss it, it's no problem. Just throw it again. As long as you're doing the mechanics correctly, if you miss it, you're not going to get hurt. Everyone's always worried about getting hurt with this one. You're not going to get hurt if you do the mechanics correctly. Keep going, keep going. Don't stop yet. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into a longer grip. So before we were kind of in our middle grip, we're going to go to a long grip. And we're going to do what's called a lateral over-under. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's moving laterally, which means sideways. It's going to go over, and I'm going to catch it under. So it looks just like this, lateral over under, right here. So the reason I'm going into a long grip is because it makes it easier to catch. If I tried doing this in a short grip, check it out. I might be able to do it, I might not be able to do it. Boom. I barely caught it, just based off of how much I had to wrap around it. In a long grip, this is much easier. So this is going to be one that we're going to stick to with a long grip. Or if you have a longer chain or rope, my rope is only 4 fingers. If yours is longer, maybe yours is whole 2 hands, maybe a little bit longer than that, depending on where you got it, it's possible that it is. And then you can do it in a middle grip. That's fine. If you have a short one like I do, then you're going to have to go into a longer grip. Again, we're going to go over, and we're going to catch it underneath. Then we're just going to bring it out, and we're going to set it onto the other side, and we're going to go over and catch it underneath. So this is our lateral, over, under. Bring it out, lateral, over, under. Again, we're in our long grip. Bring it out here, and just let it come in. So we're changing the angle slightly. We're not going around the neck, so we have to come upwards slightly so that it's going to go under. One thing, we're not trying to go over the ball joint of our shoulder. We're going behind it. If you try to go over right here, chances are you're probably not going to catch it. We're going to go under this right here. Bring it out and catch. Bring it out and catch. Out. Oh, missed that one. And catch. Here, here. And remember, you're never going to catch it every single time, but you're trying to have it so that it goes right into your hand. And I'll tell you, if it's cold outside, or if it's cold wherever you're working out and practicing, the chances of you missing are going to be a lot higher of not being able to catch it, and it hurts a little bit more if you hit your fingers and jam them. So I'll let you know, I've done quite a bit of training when it's a little bit cold outside. It can hurt a lot more, and your fingers are stiff. You're not going to be able to catch it, because a lot of time you feel when it touches your hand, because you can't see it. I can't see my hand here, so I feel as soon as it touches, my hand's closed. If it's colder, well, a lot of the time something like this will happen, where it hits, and then your fingers try to close, but it bounced off your hand already, and that's fine. So just take that into account. Don't feel bad if it's cold and you're trying to do this. You're gonna miss it more often. That's just how it works. Don't worry about it. The key is to keep training. Don't stop. Keep going. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to Green Chevron, combination number 2. So combination number 2 is going to look like this. We're going to do a lateral over under. Now, with the hand that just received it, we're going to do a back switch, and then we're going to do another back switch. Now, the hand that just received it, this one right here, is going to come out, and I'm going to do a lateral over under. So that's the reset right there. Back switch, back switch. I'm doing 2 back switches. Notice how I'm still in this long grip. It's going to make it a little bit easier for me. I'm going to do lateral over under, back switch, back switch. So when I do this lateral over under, I'm dropping it, and then I'm bringing it up and around. Back, back, lateral, back, back. Back switch, lateral, back switch, back switch. So it's 2 back switches, and our lateral over under. Back switch, lateral, back switch, lateral. Keep going. Lateral, back, back, over under, back, back, over under, back, back, over under. When you start to feel more confident, you can try picking up the pace. If you miss it, whether it's a back switch or over under, don't worry about it. Just keep going. Try again. You're gonna miss it a lot. I mean, you're gonna see me miss it still. It doesn't matter how much you practice. You're still gonna be missing it every now and then. Don't let it bother you. Just keep going. So that's our combination number 2. It can be a little bit difficult, and if you have really stiff shoulders, like I said, I have right shoulders pretty stiff. This can be a little bit painful for you. Or not painful, but it gets sore, so you might not be able to do too much in a row of it, especially those back switches. I don't know about you guys, but for me, my back switches, when I'm just going one after the other, that's when my shoulder starts to really feel it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to do a little bit further into our Shuffle Kata. So we're going to start off just where we did beginning of last time. So we did our bow. Boom. We stepped out with our left foot. We press the nunchucks out. We're going to step back with our right foot. Now we're going to shuffle forward. High block. Front kick. Front strike. Raise it up. Step through. Outward. Figure 8. I'm in a forward stance right now. Left forward stance. Front strike. Raise it up. Switch. around the neck, part one. With this around the neck, part one, I'm stepping and turning all the way around. Inward figure eight. So this is where we got to last time. Now what we're going to do, we're doing our inward figure eight block. We're going to raise it up. As we raise it up, my back foot is going to come to my front foot. Back foot comes to my front foot. I'm going to look to the left. I'm going to do an outward figure eight strike. Now I'm going to step through with this and my front strike. I'm going to raise it up. My feet come together, so my back foot comes to my front foot. I'm going to switch it, and I'm going to land outward figure eight strike, front strike. All right, let's go ahead and start over. So I'm here. I step back. I shuffle forward, high block, front kick, front strike, catch it underneath. Raise it up, switch, feet come together as a switch. I step out, I land with that outward figure eight strike. Front strike, raise it up, switch, side strike, around the neck, and I turn all the way around with this. Go right into my inward figure eight. My back foot comes to the front. As I raise this up for my simple up, I look to the left, outward figure eight strike. Step together through, front strike. Step up, out, and I switch it, do an outward figure eight strike. Then I do a front strike, and a simple up. One more time, just getting to that point. We're here. I step back, shuffle, front snap kick, front strike. Feet come together as I raise it up, switch hands, outward figure eight, strike, front strike, up, switch, side strike, bring it around the back, around the neck, catch, and go right into my inward figure eight. Raise this up as my back foot comes up, I catch. I step out with the left, outward figure eight strike. I step through, right front strike. Now I step up together, I catch it, and I'm switching sides as I land with a left outward figure eight. And I do a left front strike, and I'm going to raise it up. So that footwork that we did earlier, where we brought the foot across, we're going to do that right now. I'm going to bring my right foot across. I'm going to turn. As I turn, I'm going to do an outward figure eight strike. Now, I'm going to step through, front strike. I'm going to step up together as I raise it up for a simple up. I'm switching, and I land right foot forward, outward figure eight strike, front strike, simple up. All right, we're going to go back to that part again. Starting here. We just did our bow, we got ready. We're going to step back with our right foot. Shuffle. Front kick. Land. Front strike. Raise it up. Switching. Land with our left foot. Outward. Figure eight strike. Front strike. Up. Switch. Side strike. Around the back. Around the neck. I twirl around. And I catch it underneath. I'm in a back stance. Go right into my outward or inward figure eight block. Feet come together as I simple up. Look to my left. Outward figure eight strike with the right. Step through. Front strike with the right. Step up together. I simple up. I land. With my left hand, I do that outward figure eight strike. Left hand, I do a front strike. Simple up. Back foot, right foot, it goes all the way around, and I'm going to twist, outward figure eight strike. I'm going to step through, front strike. I'm going to step up, switch, land, outward figure eight strike, front strike, simple up. All right, so when I was first learning this, I had a little bit of trouble sometimes figuring out what's going on, which ones go where, especially when we go one way and then we go to the other side. So when I'm here, we're just going to go at this part. We're in our right or our left back stance, so our right foot's in the front. We're doing the inward figure eight block. We come up here. So we're going to do, I want you to think of 3 footwork or 3 footwork movements going one way, and then 3 footwork movements coming the other way. So the first movement is going to be this back foot coming up and then stepping out. So this is 1. I keep the nunchuck in the same hand as I step through. 2. So I had 2 movements. So I had that left foot and the right foot both on the right hand. Boom. And now the third movement is going to be one where I step together, up, and I switch. So step together, up, and switch. So that's going to be the same there as it is coming back. So one more time, I'm here, boom, I step up, out, so I have a right hand movement, I step through, right hand movement, 2 right hand movements in a row. Then I step together, up, switch. Now I have my left hand movement, and then I have another one. So at the end of the direction that I'm going, I'm going to do a front strike, or I'm going to do an outward figure 8 strike, followed shortly by a front strike without moving my feet. Then I raise this up, and I'm going to do the same thing going the other way. So my first footwork movement is this turn. Now I have 1 left with 1 footwork movement. I step through. I have another left on the second footwork movement. So it's 2. The first 2 are with the same hand, which means the third one is when I step up together and I switch and do outward figure 8 strike, front strike, simple up. So like I said, the way I like to think of it is I have 2 on one hand, and then feet come together, and I switch for that third movement. And same thing on the way back. On the way back, I stepped around. I had 1, 2 on that one hand, and then I stepped together, up, and I did my outward figure 8 strike, front strike, simple up. So we've got all of that on the same movement. So think of it 1, 2, 3. The first 2 are with the same hand. The third hand is switching when it's going one way and it's going back the other way. So a few more times, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this exact same movement. I'm here, I'm prepared, I step back, shuffle forward, front kick, front strike, up, outward figure 8, front strike, raise it up, switch, side strike around the neck, do your spin. Here, inward figure 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many, 4 to 6. Outward figure 8 strike, 1 movement on the right hand. Step forward, front strike, second movement on the right hand. That means I'm switching now. Comes up, switch, 1, 2, 3 movements on the left hand. I turn, 1 movement, step through, 2 movements. That means I'm going up for the switch. Outward figure 8 strike, front strike. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn my back to you so you can follow along with me. We're going to start here. I step back with my right foot. I'm going to shuffle forward, high block, front kick, front strike. Raise it up as I step through with that switch. Outward figure 8 strike, front strike, up, switch, around. And as I do this around, I'm coming, circling all the way around. Inward figure 8. Feet come up. Movement 1, right hand. Step. Movement 2, right hand. Up. Switch. Left hand. Outward figure 8 strike. Right hand. Boom. Lift it up. Now the right foot comes around. I'm going to do movement 1 on the left hand. Step through. Movement 2 on the left hand. That means I'm switching on this one. Feet come together. Up. I switch to the right hand. Outward figure 8, front strike, simple up. Again, same thing. We're starting here. Step back, high block, front kick, front strike. Feet come together, up, switch, step forward, outward figure 8 strike, front strike. Raise it up, switch sides, side strike, around the neck, part 1. Inward figure 8 block, feet come together. I'm going to step off to the side a little bit. Outward figure 8 strike, that's 1 movement with my right. Step through. Front strike, that's 2 movements with my right. Raise up, step out. Left hand. Simple up. Back foot turns. Left hand movement number 1. Outward figure 8 strike. Step through. Left hand movement number 2. Front strike. Now that means movement number 3, right foot comes up, I switch, outward figure 8 strike, front strike, simple up. And that's as far as we're going to go on the Shuffle Kata for today. We'll continue in the next class. Now, we're going to go ahead and end the class the way I always like to end the Nunchaku classes. Let's do a little freestyle. So, doing whatever you want to do. You can practice your new techniques. You can do whatever. I just want you to kind of flow. I want you to move around a little bit, circle around. Don't just completely face me the whole time. Do whatever it is that you want to try to do. Try something new. Try something you've never done. Maybe throw it up in the air, try to catch it. If you drop it, oh well. I have no idea how many times I've dropped it, but I know it's a lot. I've dropped the nunchucks a lot. And you're going to be really good at moving your feet out of the way whenever it's coming down on top of your nunchuck or on top of your feet. That's one thing that I had a lot of practice on. Try to keep flowing, keep the nunchucks moving. Try not to stay in one position too long. Also try not to stay only with your right hand. Or with your left hand if you're left hand dominant. There are some people. Do whatever you want. Play around. Use your footwork. Throw a kick or two if you'd like. This is just your time. Experiment. Alright guys. Good job on that. Again, if you want to keep freestyling, by all means keep freestyling. It's some of the most fun stuff you can do. Just play around. Do whatever you like to do. Enjoy it. That's how you're going to keep coming back and keep training hard, is because you're enjoying it. Alright? Good job on this class, you guys.